Hi everyone, my name is Fredrik Noren, and this will be the last dev update for Pixling World for a while. For those of you that have been following this project for a while, you might have noticed that it's been changing a lot in the last couple of months, and I wanted to talk a little bit about why and kind of what's going on and what's next. So for a long time, the vision for Pixling World has been to create like this artificial life simulation. But what I wanted to do was to create this simulation that would have complexity, right? That would display complexity in some way. I wanted you to be able to start a world and then be surprised by the results and have the different components of this world interact in ways that would create more than the individual components. And this is something that I've been struggling with over the past year and a half to create in Pixling World. And to be honest, I feel like I never really got to that point where you got more out of it than what you put in. Like, most of the time the pixelings would still just go in circles and kill whoever was the closest, because that was the most efficient strategy in the simulation, the way it was set up. So I do think it is possible to set up an artificial life simulation in a way where you would get like this complexity that would build upon each other, where one species would get smarter and then another one would have to become smarter to kind of respond to that. But so far I just haven't really been able to get to that point. So that's kind of like where I was with Pixling World before Christmas sometime. And then I started experimenting with a different concept, where instead of having like this kind of free-form thing where the pixelings were running around in a big world and they were competing for survival, I created something a bit more direct, where people bred pixelings and then could kind of battle them against each other. And I think the big change here is that you have artificial selection, right? Someone is actually kind of guiding which pixelings are selected for continuing, and immediately the results started getting more interesting. The pixelings would actually start to do things that that would actually surprise me. So we had the example of creating some pixelings without abilities, and when bred, they started to hide from other pixelings because that was the only alternative they had. Or in the later versions, we've been able to create healer pixelings that would focus on healing their friends, and just stuff like this that actually more interesting behaviors and results. So that's kind of why I've been going into this direction more now. I think it's looking really promising, and I think it's something that could both be fun to play. It's fun for me to develop because I'm really interested in this emergent complexity, and I think this is really like somewhere where you could see that, and I think it's a deep well. Like, you could really come up with very interesting ways to set up the training to then get very interesting behaviors from pixelings, and I think people could definitely get and will get surprised by the results. So I think that's very good. But it does mean that with this new direction, it's not really an artificial life simulation anymore. It's more of like an AI training game. So rather than I think a lot of people signed up to this channel to kind of see an interesting artificial life simulation, and now I'm starting to create this other thing which is not an artificial life simulation. So rather than keeping rather than to keep posting in this channel, I figured it's probably better to create a new channel. And for the people that are interested in this new direction, then I'm going to put the link in the description. You can then follow that channel instead. And then I'm going to leave this channel. And if I come back to artificial life simulations, then I'll probably reuse this channel then instead. I wanted to thank everyone that has been following this project for a while, for all the support and for all the comments. And I think it's been very interesting so far. I hope that one day I will kind of maybe I will learn more from this other direction, and then one day I'll be able to come back to this and kind of figure out how to actually create a system that has emergent complexity. But yeah, anyway, like thank you everyone so far. I hope you'll see me at this new channel. And yeah, that's it. Thanks.